Now, before we actually go ahead and implement our greetings list into our HTML, we first need to understand and learn a new concept, okay? So I'm back in my playground project. I suggest you go here too, and I'm going to create a new file and call it Dictionaries. We need to learn what dictionaries are because the templating engine is going to use dictionaries to pass these values into the template so that the template can then go ahead and render them to our page. So what is a dictionary? A dictionary is another extremely powerful and useful data structure we have in Python, and it's going to be used quite a bit. A dictionary is essentially also a collection of items. However, it's not a flat structure like a list. So a list was, let's create a list 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so this is a list, and the structure is pretty flat. It's also, sometimes it may be hard to access the items depending on the complexity of the list. So this is where dictionaries come into play. A dictionary is also a collection of items. However, these items are paired up and they are called key value pairs. Okay, so what is a key value pair? A dictionary is declared using curly braces instead of square brackets. So what is a key value pair? Well, a item needs to have a value, and its value can be looked up or retrieved by its key. So let's say, for example, name colon is Michael. Okay, so here we have a value of Michael, and its key is a name, and the entire item is a key value. So the key is name and the value is Michael. And then we can add other items into this same dictionary, separating them by comma. So I can say age colon 25. So we have another value whose key is age. Okay. So in fact, here you can see this is very similar actually to how we model a person using a class, right? So instead of maybe calling this dictionary, we can say, we can call this Michael simply. And so we're essentially creating another object. And this is actually a object, right? This is a object of a person, and this person has a name, this person has an age, this person can have a height. So 182, so on and so forth. Okay, so now if we wanted to say print out my name, I would go ahead and say print out Michael, and then use the square brackets to retrieve a value by key, and the key is name. So I'm going to say Michael name, and then I'm also going to do Michael age. Okay, so let's see what this does. So I'm going to run my command, run my script using Python dictionaries, and sure enough, we are retrieving our values. So why is a dictionary more useful than a list in certain cases? Well, how would we model this in the list? Let's say Michael list is, and here we would have to say, for example, we don't have keys, right? So we have to just put the values directly in here. So we have to say Michael for the name, 25 for the age, and 182 for the height. So if we want to print out my name, we have to go Michael list in the list, and here is our first problem. Where is our name? In which position is our name? Well, here it's obvious because we have just written it, and we know it's in the index 0, so in the position 0. So we can go ahead and type Michael list 0, and this will print out my name. But the thing is, oftentimes it's hard to know in which position it is. Oftentimes the data structure or the list is much more complex, so it is much easier in this case to use a dictionary instead of a list. Dictionaries, similarly as lists, can contain any amount of objects or items in them. So we can say dictionary is equal to person and say Michael. So I've just created a new dictionary who has a key of person, and the value is the dictionary of Michael. So if I go ahead and print dictionary, and I'm going to remove these two prints here just to not clutter up my prints. Here we see we have a dictionary inside of a dictionary. Okay, so another thing we can do is we can print out all of the keys of a given dictionary. So we can say print michael.keys, and this will print out a list of all the keys in the dictionary. So age, name, and height are the keys, and we can go ahead and also print out the values by separate. So here we see that we are creating a list of keys and a list of values, and the position of each corresponds to the key and the value. So age 25, name Michael, height 182. Now a big difference between dictionaries and lists is that a dictionary doesn't necessarily have to hold the same order as when you created it. So we can see that here we created first name, then age, then height, and here we are printing Python is printing back the dictionary in a different order. So we have first age, then name, then height. But this won't matter too much because we are never going to access items by order. We are going to be accessing them by keys, okay? Okay, so knowing this concept, we can now go ahead and actually implement our greetings into the actual template.